I thought it was great when Sarah got the job. She had been looking for months, sending out applications, going to interviews. Nothing was panning out. The rejections were wearing her down. She would come home defeated after each interview. Say she did not know what she was doing wrong. I would tell her to keep trying, that something would work out. We had been together for 2 years at that point, living together for 1. Things were good between us. We had our routines, our inside jokes, plans for the future. We talked about getting engaged soon, maybe next year, when we were both more stable financially. Her job search was the only stress in our lives. She was working retail to pay bills. Hated it. Wanted something in her field, marketing, something with growth potential. Then one day she came home excited. Said she got an offer. Good company, great pay, benefits, everything she wanted. I was so happy for her. We went out to celebrate that night. Dinner at her favorite restaurant. Ordered champagne. Toasted to her success. She was glowing. Talking about how this was going to change everything for us. How we could finally start saving for a house. How she would not be stressed about money anymore. How we could plan that trip we always talked about. I felt proud. My girlfriend was moving up in the world. This was what she had been working toward. If you enjoy stories like this, hit subscribe. It helps more than you know. She started the job 2 weeks later. Came home that first day telling me all about it. The office was nice. The people were friendly. Her boss seemed reasonable. Everything was perfect. I asked what the company did. She said marketing and advertising. Small agency. About 30 people. Young team, creative environment. Sounded perfect for her. I asked who else worked there. She mentioned a few names. People I had never heard of. Then she said something that made my stomach drop. She said, "Oh, and you will never guess who works there." I asked who. She said, "James." Can you believe it? What are the odds? James. Her ex-boyfriend. The guy she dated for 3 years before me. The guy she told me was her first real love. The guy whose name used to come up way too often in conversations when we first started dating. The guy whose photos she still had saved on her phone until I asked her to delete them. That James. I asked if she knew he worked there before she applied. She laughed. Said no. Total coincidence. Crazy, right? The laugh felt forced, but I wanted to believe her. I asked how she felt about it. She said it was fine. They were adults. It had been years. No big deal. She said it might even be nice. They ended things on good terms. No drama. I wanted to believe her. But something felt off. Something in the way she said his name. The way her eyes lit up when she mentioned him. Like she was excited. Not nervous or uncomfortable. Excited. The first few weeks were normal. She would come home. We would have dinner. Talk about our days. She mentioned James occasionally. Said they were friendly, professional. No weirdness. I tried not to think about it. Then she started staying late at work. The first time was her second week. She texted around 5:30. Said there was a project deadline. She needed to stay and help the team finish. I said no problem. Made dinner for myself, saved her a plate. She got home around 9, tired but happy. Said the team really pulled together. It felt good to contribute. The second time was 3 days later. Same thing. Project deadline. Then it happened again the following week. And again. Soon it was 3 times a week, then 4. She would text me around 6 saying she would be home late. Sorry, big deadline. Client presentation. Team needs all hands on deck. I would eat dinner alone, watch TV alone, go to bed alone sometimes. She would get home around 10 or 11, too tired to talk, would heat up her dinner, eat it standing at the counter, say she was exhausted and going to bed. In the morning she would be up early, out the door before I woke up. Our time together shrank. Weekday mornings were rushed. Evenings she was not there. Weekends she was recovering. Too tired to do much. She started talking about James more. At first it was casual. Work stuff. James said this. James thinks that. James suggested we try this approach for the campaign. Then it became more frequent. James and I grabbed lunch to discuss the client. James and I stayed late to finish the presentation. James thought my idea was brilliant. Always James. His name came up multiple times every day. More than any other coworker, more than her boss, more than anyone. I asked if they worked together directly. She said sometimes. They were on different teams, but projects overlapped. I asked if it was weird working with an ex. She said no. They were both professionals. Actually, it was nice having someone she trusted there. That made me uncomfortable, but I did not say anything. One Friday, she came home around 10. I asked where she had been. She said, work happy hour. The team went out for drinks. I asked if James was there. She paused, then said yes. The whole team was there. I asked if they talked. She said, of course. They worked together. It would be weird not to talk. I asked what they talked about. She got defensive, said I was being paranoid, that she was allowed to have conversations with coworkers, that I needed to trust her. I dropped it. But I did not stop noticing things. She started dressing differently for work. More effort, better outfits. She said she wanted to look professional, but she never used to care this much. She started mentioning inside jokes with James, things that happened at the office, stories I was not part of. She would laugh at her phone. I would ask what was funny. She would say just something James sent. A meme about work. A joke about a client. Nothing important. But it felt important. One night I asked her directly, asked if something was going on with James. She looked shocked. Said absolutely not. They were just coworkers, friends at most. I was being ridiculous. She said I was ruining a good thing for her, that she finally had a job she liked and I was making it about my insecurity. I apologized, said I trusted her, but I was lying. I started paying more attention. She was on her phone constantly, texting, smiling. When I asked who she was talking to, she would say work stuff. Or friends. Never a straight answer. She started going in on weekends, said there were big projects, tight deadlines. She needed to put in extra hours. I offered to bring her lunch. She said no, too busy, could not take breaks. One Sunday, I decided to surprise her anyway. She had left around 9 that morning, said she would probably be there all day. Big client pitch on Monday. The presentation needed to be perfect. I waited until noon, made sandwiches, got her favorite coffee, drove to her office building downtown, walked into the lobby, took the elevator to the 4th floor. The office was mostly empty, a few people scattered around. I walked toward where I remembered her desk being. From the one time she showed me around, she was not at her desk. Her computer was on, her bag was there, but no Sarah. I looked around, saw light coming from a conference room down the hall, walked toward it. Through the glass walls I could see them, Sarah and James, just the two of them, sitting close, too close, laughing at something on a laptop screen. Her hand on his arm, his hand on the table near hers. Almost touching. The body language was wrong. This was not coworkers. This was something else. I stood there watching for a full minute. They looked comfortable together. Natural. Like they had done this 1,000 times. She laughed at something he said, threw her head back. The way she used to laugh with me. Before the late night started. Before James. I knocked on the glass, hard. They both jumped, pulled apart. Sarah turned and saw me. Her face went from happy to shocked to scared in seconds. She jumped up, came to the door, opened it, asked what I was doing there. Her voice was shaky. I held up the coffee and sandwiches, said I brought lunch, thought she might be hungry. She looked back at James, then at me, said I should have called first. I said I wanted to surprise her. She said this was not a good time. They were in the middle of something important. I looked past her at James. He was standing now, hands in pockets. Looking awkward, but not sorry, not embarrassed, just caught. I asked if he was the reason she took this job. Sarah looked confused, said, "What are you talking about?" I asked if she knew he worked here before she applied. She hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. She finally said yes. She knew. But it was not what I thought. I asked what it was then. She said she just wanted a good job. That James told her they were hiring. That he put in a good word for her. It was not about him. It was about the opportunity. I asked why she lied. She said she did not lie. I just never asked the right questions. I told her that was bullshit. She knew exactly what she was doing. She got a job specifically to see her ex every day. She started crying, said I was being unfair, that she was allowed to have a career, that I was making this into something it was not. I asked if she still had feelings for James. She did not answer right away. That was answer enough. I told her we were done. She grabbed my arm, said no. We could talk about this. She did not mean for it to happen this way. I pulled my arm back, asked what way. She said she did not know, that seeing James again brought up old feelings, that she thought she was over him, but she was not sure anymore, that she needed time to figure it out. I told her she had all the time she needed, because I was not waiting around. I left the building. She followed me to the parking lot, crying, begging me to wait, to let her explain. I got in my car and drove away. She called 15 times that day. I did not answer. She texted saying we needed to talk, that she made a mistake, that she chose me. I did not respond. 2 days later, she showed up at my apartment. It was a Tuesday evening. I was making dinner when I heard the knock. I looked through the peephole, saw her standing there. She looked terrible. Hair messy, eyes red, like she had been crying for days. I almost did not let her in, almost told her to leave. But I wanted to hear what she had to say, wanted to hear how she would try to justify this. I opened the door. She came in without saying anything, walked to the couch, sat down. I stayed standing, arms crossed, waiting. She took a deep breath, said she quit her job, just like that. Walked in that morning and resigned, effective immediately. She said she realized she made a terrible mistake, that she should never have taken the job knowing James worked there, that it was unfair to me, that she was sorry. I asked if she slept with him. She looked up at me, eyes wide, said no, absolutely not. Nothing physical happened. I asked if she wanted to. She opened her mouth, closed it, did not answer. I asked again, louder this time. She started crying, said she did not know, that she was confused, that being around him made her remember what they had, the connection they had, the way he understood her. But she loved me. She wanted to be with me. She just needed to figure out her feelings. I told her that was not enough. That was not how relationships work. You do not get to keep your boyfriend while you figure out if you want your ex back. She made a choice when she took that job. She chose to put herself in a position where she would see him every day. She chose to lie about it. She chose to prioritize her feelings for him over our relationship. She said she quit. Did not that count for something? I said she only quit because she got caught. If I had not shown up that day, she would still be there, still having lunches with James, still staying late, still lying to me. She said that was not true. I said prove it. She could not. I told her to leave. She begged, said she would do anything, that we could go to therapy, that she would never talk to James again, that she would get a different job far away from him. I said it did not matter. The trust was gone. She destroyed it the moment she decided seeing her ex was more important than being honest with me. She sat there crying for 10 minutes. I did not say anything. Finally, she stood up, said she understood, said she hoped someday I could forgive her. I did not respond. She left. I blocked her number that night. blocked her on everything. I did not want to hear from her again. A mutual friend reached out a week later, said Sarah was devastated, that she really did quit her job, that she realized she messed up, that she wanted another chance. I told the friend no. Sarah made her choices. She chose to chase her ex. She chose to lie. She chose to put our relationship at risk for someone from her past. Those were her decisions. I was not giving her another chance to do it again. The friend said I was being harsh, that everyone makes mistakes. I said some mistakes are too big. This was one of them. It has been 4 months. I have not heard from Sarah since. I heard through people that she got a new job, different company, different industry, far from James. I do not know if they still talk. I do not care. I am doing better now. The first month was hard. I kept thinking about all the time I wasted, all the red flags I ignored, all the times my gut told me something was wrong, but I talked myself out of it. But I learned something important. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Sarah showed me she was willing to lie, willing to chase an ex, willing to risk what we had for what she used to have. I believed her, and I walked away. I started dating again recently. Nothing serious yet. Just meeting people, taking my time, being more careful about red flags, asking harder questions, not ignoring my instincts. The new person I am seeing asked about my last relationship. I told her the truth, that my ex got a job to be near her ex, that she lied about it, that I ended it when I found out. She said that must have been hard. I said it was. But it taught me what I will not accept. I will not accept lies. I will not accept someone who is not over their ex. I will not accept being someone's backup plan while they figure out if they want someone else. She appreciated the honesty, said she had similar boundaries. We are taking things slow. No rush. Building trust the right way. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if I had not shown up that Sunday. How long would Sarah have kept it up? How far would it have gone with James? Would she have eventually left me for him? I will never know. But I know I made the right choice walking away. Some people will tell you that you should fight for love, that you should give people second chances, that everyone makes mistakes. And maybe that is true sometimes. But not when someone actively chooses to deceive you. Not when someone seeks out their ex and lies about it. Not when someone puts you second to someone from their past. That is not a mistake. That is a choice. Sarah chose James when she applied to that job. She chose him every day she went to work. She chose him every time she lied about why she knew he was there. I chose myself, and I would make that choice again. If this story hit home for you, please subscribe. Sometimes walking away is the strongest thing you can do, even when it hurts. Thanks for listening.